my big moment, please. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Dr. and Mrs. Shin and Mr. and Mrs. Nguyen for this wonderful evening. Thank you. Now, before I begin, I want to point out a little something. I want to point out some facts here. If everyone can take a look at Amy, everyone can tell she's lovely, proper, and pretty much she can get a pic of any man she wants. So let's scroll over just one seat over and take a look at this guy. Phil, you're one of my closest friends, but I apologize. You look like a skinny Kim Jong-il with LASIK surgery, so look at that. So now that we've established his looks, you know, he's not the most handsome guy, and he's not the richest guy, not yet. So what is it about Fu that, how did Fu get this lovely bride we know as Amy? Well, I'm gonna tell you. In my lifetime, mine personally, I laugh so hard, it's uncontrollable. And I only do this maybe once every 3 to 4 years. Mr. Fu Nguyen over there has provided several of these laughs for me. And I just wanted to share a few of these. The first time he did an impression of some of our friends, I laughed hysterically that I couldn't talk, and that was about 4 minutes straight. The second hard laugh he provided was kind of recent. Amy and Fu were in San Francisco visiting my girlfriend and I, and Fu said something smart, and then this is how Amy handles Fu. He punched Fu right in the arm so hard, Fu's knees buckled and fell on the ground. So like the good friend I am, I didn't ask if he was okay. I fell too, laughing on the ground as well. But this final, the hardest laugh ever in my lifetime is this story here. And it's so good that I want to make sure Mr. and Mrs. Nguyen understand. So I'd like to bring out my lovely translator, Mary. Thank you, Mary. As many of you guys, some of you guys have heard this story because it's one of my favorites to tell. This is one of my favorite Fu stories right now. I'm about to share.
Bạn của anh Phước muốn nói cái story, con nói tiếng Việt cho nãy đã hiểu.
When I first met Phil, it was in college, and he told me he was an actor.
First, I want to apologize. My Vietnamese isn't that good, so it's probably going to be about 50% Vietnamese and 50% English. Lần trước không ở bạn anh Phước mặc gặp thì anh Phước nói thì anh Phước muốn làm actor.
So I was having problems with a vendor, and I wanted Fu to act like he was my lawyer on the phone. Give a hand to Mary. Thank you. We're gonna go English only.
Come on.
Thanks, Mary.
Sorry.
That's good. Sorry, in her defense, I asked her about 5 minutes ago to do this, so she wasn't expecting it. Well, back to the story. So I asked Fu, I was having problems with this vendor, and I wanted Fu to get on the phone and act like he was my lawyer. So we did it, he made the phone call, and that was that. So when we're done, I was heading to the door, and Fu goes up to me, "Hey man." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "I can dance." And I'm like,
I have a translator here.
"That's good." Okay, sure. Okay. Thanks, David. But he's like, "I can dance." And I'm like, "Okay, that's nice." And I'm still trying to walk to the door. He's like, "Do you want to see?" And I'm like, "Sure, Fu, let me see you dance." So like, "Would you like some music?" And he's like, "I'm good." I'm like, "Do you want me to move this table?" He's like, "Yes, could you move the table? So I moved it, and I sat down, and then Fu stood there in front of me, facing me, and I'm sitting on the couch, and he's dancing away, like no music, and he's sweating and everything. So I'm sitting there, I'm half scared, and then, yeah, I'm half impressed. So this isn't bad. So he does this dance, we walk, we leave, and then we never talk about that ever again. And then Fu, he actually moved to Chicago maybe 6 to 7 years after this event. And you know, we'd still talk to each other on the phone, we'd call each other, and we're talking, and he called, and we're talking, and all of a sudden, he gets quiet, and then he's like, Johnny, do you remember that one time I danced for you? And then both Fu and I laughed uncontrollably for about 8 minutes straight, and to this day, that was the hardest, strongest laugh I ever had. But even though everyone knows Fu's a kidster, everyone knows he can be serious. And I remember I was talking to Fu, and I was like, so, why do you want to marry Amy? He looked at me, very serious, he goes, because she's my best friend. And I could tell her anything I want, and I can do whatever I want with her, and I want to do everything with her. And then after we both finished crying, like we continued, I said that was a very good reason. So, Amy, I promise you this, you're gonna get mad these next few years. Fu's gonna also make you cry, but I guarantee Fu will always make you laugh more than any of that. So if we could all grab our glasses, please. To the bride and groom, to a lifetime of happiness and laughter. Thank you.
Thank you.